Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, what makes a beloved video game a classic? I'd assume it would be that the game is fundamentally fun to play again, original, great to listen to, and even decades later, still be a blast to play. So if you've clicked on this video, you know I'm talking about Sega's classic, Altered Beast. Now this game was one of Sega's early arcade titles that was ported to the Sega Genesis. Well, it was actually ported to almost every system at the time, including the Commodore 64, the Amiga, the Atari ST, and hell, even the Nintendo Famicom. Yeah, seriously. And while a lot of us older gamers know about Altered Beast and its legacy on the video game world, a lot of people don't, and the ones that do don't really seem to like the game very much. It's only got a 40% on Metacritic, and it never really appears on any top 10 or best of Sega Genesis games. So I thought, hey, why don't I take a look at the game? Let's see what Altered Beast is all about. Is it an underrated gem, or is it a classic like how Nintendo thinks Urban Champion is a classic? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Altered Beast.
Rise from your grave.
Now before we start, I'll be playing the Sega Genesis version of the game. It's the most common version, and it's actually a really well done port. The only real difference is that there's a slight downgrade in visual and audio quality. Our story takes place in ancient Greece, where a demon god and servant of Hades named Neph captures Zeus's daughter Athena. Zeus retaliates by resurrecting a nameless hero to fight off Neph and his underworld monsters. Zeus also gives this reawakened hero the ability to transform into a beast warrior after collecting several power-ups. With these animalistic transformations, can you save Athena and defeat Neph? Well, can you? In this side-scrolling beat-em-up, our Beast Warrior has the amazing abilities to punch and kick and lie on his back and kick up. It's kind of ridiculous looking. As you progress through these levels though, fighting off monsters, you'll see these two blue-headed wolves that make their way across the screen. The game manual says that they're three-headed, but what? Make sure you kill these and grab the power-up orb that they drop. Getting one of these orbs makes your character more sexy. They gain more mass and even lose some clothes. It also makes their attacks more powerful. If you kill another blue wolf and get another one of these steroid orbs, you'll get even beefier, sporting a speedo and becoming even more unproportional looking. Seriously, look at your character's head. Despite the fact that you're now 3 times the size and even grew half a foot, your head stays the same damn size. Now get a third orb and you'll finally transform into some kind of beast. That's actually a pretty cool concept for a video game. Now this game isn't very long, there's only 5 stages, and I kind of want to talk about them and the different beast transformations that you'll experience. There's 5 different beast transformations and each one is specific to a level. The beginning of the first stage introduces us to Zeus as he demands you to
Rise from your grave.
We rise, we fight. In the cemetery we'll fight enemies called slow feet and headless horrors. Once we get enough orbs we'll transform into the werewolf. As the werewolf, you're faster, stronger, and have some new abilities. You can shoot some brown Hadoukens, and you can do this flame dash. You're super powerful and getting through the rest of the level should be a snap. Once you come across Neph, it's boss time.
Welcome to your doom.
Or not, maybe. You can run into Neph several times within a level. If you've reached your beast form, you fight the boss. If you didn't reach beast form yet, well, he'll come back a little later and you'll continue the level. So Neph summons our first boss, Agar. It's a legless slump of monster with an endless amount of heads to throw. This boss is actually pretty easy. Just dodge the heads and keep hitting the body and Agar will die before you know it. Once defeated, Neph extracts the power-ups from your body and you'll go to stage 2. Oh, and before I forget, between each level we see what Neph is doing to Athena in the Underworld. He starts off by putting her in a headlock, and after each level we slowly see that he transforms her into a dove. Apparently defeating Neph is the only way to get her to turn back into her goddess form. Anyway, back to action. Stage 2 has us in a dark cave fighting off round leeches that latch onto your head. There's also this guy called Rattletail, and this one called Chicken Stinger. Wait, aren't you little assholes in Golden Axe too? Die! In this level, we transform into the Were-Dragon. We have the ability to shoot lightning bolts from our mouths, and we have the ability to make an electric barrier around our body. Our boss in this level is called Octeyes. Now this boss is either incredibly easy to beat or incredibly hard, depending on your battle strategy. If you keep your distance and shock his flying eyeballs, you won't win. It'll take forever and you'll constantly have to hear that loud alarm clock blaring electric noise to no end. Here's what you do instead. As soon as the boss appears, just spam the electric attack and it will die before it even has a chance to attack. Huzzah! Next level is the Caverns. We fight some cave needles and rock turtles. In this stage, we get to transform into the Werebear. I love this transformation, mostly because of that brave, heroic strut the bear has. His attacks are Bear Breath, that petrifies enemies and turns them into breakable stones. And taking a page from fellow Sega franchise Sonic, there's a cool Bear Spin Dash attack. The final boss of this stage is absurdly called Moldy Snail, and is half snail, half salamander beast. I don't have any real strategy to beat him other than, well, I just kept doing this until I died. The fourth stage, the Underworld Palace, has some familiar enemies as well as a new one, the Hammer Demon. Our beast transformation here is the Were-Tiger. The Were-Tiger is pretty similar to the Werewolf from the first stage. You shoot an energy ball and you get a flame dash again, but instead of it shooting you left or right, this one shoots you up and down. Our boss this time is the Crocodile Worm. He's not too hard to beat if you just have some patience. Just keep shooting your energy ball at him and duck when he shoots fire at you. Also use your flame dash to kill his little fire dragons. Last stage now. In this hellish looking stage, we're gonna fight the likes of gory goats, rad boars, and dark unicorns. Such fancy names we got here. Our final transformation of the game is the werewolf again, except for this time you're gold. Now after kicking some ass, we'll eventually get to our fight with Neff. He himself transforms into an armored rhinoceros. Little bit of trivia for you too. Neff in his rhino form actually appeared in Wreck-It Ralph. He was one of the bad guys in the Bad Anon scene. Anyway, he's not too hard to beat. I just kept spamming the dash attack and I eventually beat him. Athena's dove curse is broken. Athena and our hero stare at each other. No nukes appears in the credits, and that's it. I don't know, that ending was kinda weak. I actually prefer the arcades ending, where they take the Super Mario Bros. 3 route and reveal that it was all just a stage act. And, well, that's Altered Beast. Is it a real beloved classic, or is it a dated mess of a game? Yes. Let's talk good and bad here. First off, the good stuff. I love the originality of it all. A beat 'em up where you get mucho macho as you get more power-ups and then having the ability to actually transform into some kind of super beast, that's freaking awesome. Not only that, but there's a variety of beasts to transform into, not just one. And while there's not a whole lot of music tracks here, the ones that are in the game are pretty damn catchy. The sound bites used here are also iconic in their own right.
Power up.
And
Rise from your grave.
are iconic phrases to us older gamers, even if you don't like the game. And when we talk about the visuals of the game, they're not too shabby for its time. You're not going to be left in awe or anything, but the details on all the monsters are great. Some of them I thought were pretty horrifying as a kid. And in those aspects, the game is great. But as for the bad, well, there's quite a bit to be honest. Going back to the boss fights, the first and fourth boss are the only ones that are actually going to require any kind of strategy. The others, you just kind of spam your attacks or glitch your way through. As for the gameplay and controls themselves, they're just okay. It's overly simple, you just punch and kick, and it's way too easy to get beat up. Hell, a few times after I've transformed, I got glitched and got my ass kicked. This game can be hard at first, but don't fret if you get a game over. Just hold down the A button and press start after the game over screen, and you'll start back at the level you last died on, but with full health. Your success on beating Altered Beast will mostly depend on remembering enemy layouts and where to be when those blue wolves appear. The quicker you get the power-ups, the quicker you can beat the level. And speaking of which, the biggest downer of this game is simply It's way too short. Again, the quicker you get the power-ups, the quicker you beat the level. And once you got it down where all the blue wolves are at, good God, you can beat this game in roughly 15 minutes. Yes, only 15 minutes. It just doesn't last very long. And while I think some of the beast transformations are awesome, I feel like the playtime with them are just way too short. I just want to run around and kill things in my beast form, but by the time I transform, the boss is right around the corner and the level just ends too quickly. So yeah, I like the game for what it is, but by the time I beat it, I'm kinda left wanting more. It just ends too quickly and I feel like there's more potential to be had there. But for a game that came out in 1988, what should we expect? Once you beat the game, I guess you can go for a high score, or maybe you can do a no beast mode run where you try to beat the game in just your human form. But anyway, what do you guys think of the game? Think Altered Beast is great? Think it's a classic? Think it sucks? Think it's just overrated? Let me know in the comments below. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna try and find that Famicom version of the game. There's a level that lets you turn into a lion, and another one that lets you turn into a freaking shark. Freaking badass! But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later.